Did you know that India has two ancient epics so influential that they helped shape the values and heroes of one of the world's oldest civilizations? Do you know their names? One is the Ramayana, the other is the Mahabharata. But these are not simply old stories from the distant past. They are stories of exile, war, loyalty, betrayal, and impossible moral choices. What should a son do when obeying his father means losing a kingdom? What should a warrior do when the people he must fight are his own family? What happens when pride becomes more important than justice? And what does it really mean to do the right thing when every choice comes with pain? For thousands of years, these stories have lived inside Indian civilization, recited by poets and performed in temples. Turned into dance, theater, and film, their characters are still treated as moral examples and warnings. To understand India, you have to understand its stories, because civilizations are not built only with armies, but with imagination. The first epic is the Ramayana. Its name means the journey of Rama. At the center is Prince Rama of Ayodhya. Noble, disciplined, and calm. The kingdom expects him to become king. The people love him. But then the story suddenly changes. Inside the palace, political ambition begins to destroy the order. Queen Kikeyi demands that her own son inherit the throne and that Rama be exiled for 14 years. The king is devastated. He does not want to send Rama away, but a king's promise is sacred. Rama could fight for the throne, but he does not. He accepts exile because he believes duty is more important than ambition. This moment became one of the most important moral scenes in Indian tradition. A prince gives up power to honor his father's word. Rama's wife, Sita, chooses exile with him. His loyal brother, Lakshmana, also joins them. The future king becomes a wanderer. The palace becomes memory, and the forest becomes a place of testing. The characters lose comfort and security. But they try to hold on to righteousness even in suffering. Every generation understands this loss. Then the story grows darker. Sita is abducted by Ravana, the king of Lanka. Ravana is not a simple monster. He is intelligent and powerful, but he is consumed by pride and desire. The conflict becomes a struggle between restraint and arrogance, between duty and selfishness, between righteousness and uncontrolled power. During the search, the story introduces Hanuman, strong, fearless, and completely devoted to Rama. What makes him unforgettable is his loyalty. A single warrior crossing the sea for hope, loyalty, and justice. Eventually, Rama marches to Lanka with his allies. The final war begins. Battles rage, heroes fall, the fate of kingdoms hangs in the balance. Finally, Rama confronts Ravana. The battle represents the restoration of moral order. Ravana is defeated, and Sita is rescued. Rama returns home after 14 years. Lamps were lit across the kingdom. This memory became connected to Diwali, the festival of lights. But the Ramayana also asks painful questions. Can a ruler balance duty and happiness? How much sacrifice should righteousness demand? If the Ramayana is the story of an ideal hero, the Mahabharata is something larger and darker, one of the longest epic poems ever created. At the center is a conflict between two branches of the same family, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, cousins raised together but divided by jealousy. The struggle begins as a political dispute over succession, but slowly it grows into a catastrophe that destroys an entire generation. The Pandavas value truth and duty, but Duryodhana is proud and resentful. Every character carries both strengths and flaws. Good people make terrible mistakes. Loyalty leads to disaster. Honor becomes trapped inside political conflict, and personal wounds slowly grow into national catastrophe. One of the most famous scenes is the dice game. Yudhishthira is invited to gamble. He knows the danger, but he accepts. One by one, he loses everything: wealth, kingdom, brothers, even himself. Finally, he gambles Draupadi. Draupadi is humiliated. She asks a question that shocks everyone. If Yudhishthira had already lost himself, did he still have the right to gamble her away? The court falls silent. Injustice continues because too many good people stay silent. A society can collapse because good people refuse to act. After the dice game, the Pandavas are sent into exile. But unlike the Ramayana, this moves toward destruction. The humiliation cannot be forgotten. Eventually, both sides prepare for war. The battlefield is Kurukshetra, one of the most famous battlefields in world literature. Arjuna looks across and sees relatives and friends. Suddenly, he cannot fight. What is the value of victory if it requires destroying your own family? Arjuna looks across and sees relatives and friends. Suddenly, he cannot fight. What is the value of victory if it requires destroying your own family? Krishna teaches him about duty, fear, action, and the eternal soul. Human beings cannot always escape responsibilities. We must act with righteousness. Then the war begins. The Mahabharata does not romanticize war. It shows grief. Heroes die. Families collapse. Vows become traps. Bhishma fights for a throne he no longer believes in. Karna remains loyal even in rejection. Civilizations are often destroyed by unresolved pride and revenge. The war lasts 18 days. The Pandavas win, but their victory feels hollow. Sons, teachers, and friends are all dead. Can a person win and still lose everything? The epic forces people to wrestle with difficult realities. What happens when duties conflict? The central idea is Dharma, duty, righteousness, moral order. Together, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata shaped the moral imagination of India. They spread far beyond ancient India, influencing all of Southeast Asia. They reveal India's inner world, spiritual struggles, vision of heroism. Civilizations survive through stories powerful enough to be remembered for millennia. Beneath the gods and kings, these are stories about human beings under pressure. They are mirrors of the human condition itself, and that is why the world still remembers them.